Hey everybody, Sarah Thrifting for the Nest. Happy Sunday. I'm going to go ahead and do my what sold for the weekend video tonight because I'm going to get some shipping done tonight because my goal is to get to the bins tomorrow. So I wanted to do my shipping this evening, therefore I am going to do my what sold video on a Sunday night instead. And then I did go to a retail Goodwill today, which I haven't done in a little while. And so I have a small haul I'm going to show you after I show you what sold for the weekend. So stay tuned for both things today. So it is 6:45 in the evening. I had a good weekend of sales. Yesterday was actually pretty decent for me. And this is the first weekend in a long while that I actually haven't run a sale in my store. I was very generous with accepting my best offers, but I've had a good week. I've had a good last 7 days. So it's very up and downs, but I've had really great sales days. So Monday on President's Day, I had a $500 day on just Monday alone. And I did run like a 40% off sale that day. So it was a pretty steep sale. But even Thursday, I had a $395 day. And then my lowest day of the week was Tuesday at $100. So ups and downs, but in all, I evened out to have a pretty decent week. Actually, so far today is my lowest sales day at $98, so $2 less than Tuesday. It's funny how I did $500 in sales on Monday and then only $100 in sales on Tuesday. I did list less than I normally do this week. So in my last video, in my haul video I had mentioned, I kind of just had a self-care week this week. I took it a little bit slower in my eBay business, listed about 10 to 15 items a day this week. I did list every day though, so I did stay consistent in that. But you know what? Sometimes we just need to do that. Sometimes we can't go all in the way that we want to, and we need to take time for ourselves. So that was that kind of a week for me. This next week, however, I'm feeling better. I'm not as sick as I was this last week, thank goodness. So I'm hoping that I can hit it hard this week, starting with a trip to the bins tomorrow. I've got like one tote of things that needs to be photographed and listed, which is actually not very much for me. So I am just fine going to the bins and loading up tomorrow. So let's talk about what I sold over the weekend. So Friday sales were $147, Saturdays were $300, and today's was $98, as I said. So like I said though, this was the first week, Friday, Saturday, and today I have not had any sale running in my store. So it's my prices and then best offers. Yesterday, I was really happy with all the offers that were coming in, and they were reasonable best offers coming in on my store. So lots of motion, lots of activity. I'd say most of my sales from the weekend came from yesterday. I was hoping that would carry on through today. I will probably start a sale in my store tomorrow, though, just to get things going. So, all right, so I've got my facts and figures pulled up here so I can share what everything sold for. Keep in mind that most of this stuff did come from the bin. I will try to remember to tell you when it didn't. So you can assume that I paid 99 cents a pound for this stuff, and I am back to offering free shipping on everything under a pound. So if it's priority mail and it's over a pound, I am charging shipping, but if it is first class under a pound, I am doing free shipping. That is how I'm doing my shipping right now. It works best for me. As I said in my last live haul, just the free shipping is just easier for me to get my head around. I feel like I can be a little more coordinated with it. So I am a little out of order, so you'll have to just forgive me with a little bit of lag time. So first I'm going to show you what I sold this weekend. This is one of my new favorite brands to find. It's the Pyramid Collection. I'm going to work really hard to get this stuff to focus for you today. So it's a tunic, a colorful pattern tunic. I have sold a skirt of this brand before, almost like a peasant skirt, and I sold it for like 40 bucks. So that keyed me in that this was a good brand to find, and I took a best offer on this item of $20 free shipping. I sold an item on Poshmark this weekend. I'm not doing anything to keep up on my Poshmark store, but I do still have items up for sale that I bought months ago just to put in my Poshmark store as I was just trying it out. So nothing major. These are just some leggings. I honestly had just picked up a bunch of things that I thought were for the Poshmark market, and obviously they sold, but this is one of the very first items I put up in my Poshmark store, and I took a best offer of $7 for these plus shipping because the buyer pays $6 shipping on Poshmark. So didn't make much profit on those, but I got them at the bins, so no big deal. All right, I picked this up. This was something I picked up at the Goodwill in Seattle, I believe. So Columbia, my bread and butter Columbia, I took a best offer for $15 on this. There was a little bit of a hiccup in eBay this weekend where I thought, well, this was supposed to have charged shipping, but there was some weird glitch where buyers were, some of my buyers were seeing free shipping when I had charged shipping. And they took screenshots and showed me, so I'm not gonna badger my buyer. So I took a $15 best offer on this thinking that I was going to be charging for shipping, and that didn't happen. So anyway, this is free shipping, no big deal, still made a profit on it. And I think that glitch has worked its way out from the listings that I was dealing with it. I'm not seeing any more issues like that. So hopefully that's not a problem anymore. I did do a couple of items on auction. Just some basic t-shirts that I had found. And again, I thought I charged shipping on a couple of these items, but obviously I didn't, and it's not a big deal. So it's a Nike t-shirt. I think it's pretty cool. Sold it for $5.50 plus free shipping. So again, thought I was charging shipping on this because I decided that when I run auctions, I'm going to charge shipping on top of it. That didn't happen with that. Sometimes mistakes happen, but you live and you learn, right? Here's an auction. This Oakley jacket, it had a stain on it. It's like just a plain gray full zip warm-up jacket. Got this at the bins, paid like $1 for it. Ended up auctioning it at a $6 starting bid. Sold for starting bid at $6 plus shipping. So the buyer paid $13 for this jacket. I picked this up in Seattle at a Value Village, and I paid up for it. It's LuLaRoe, and it's an Anna dress, a 2XL Anna. I'm not going to be able to show you the whole thing because it's like a really long dress. And I went ahead and I auctioned this because I saw this exact pattern had auctioned just days before I listed it, and it ended at $86. So I thought, well, I'm going to try that. So I started this dress at $30 on auction, and it ended at $45 plus shipping. So the buyer paid $52 for this dress. I'm still happy with that. I paid $15 for it, so sold for $45 plus shipping. That's not bad. Wish that it had gone up to $80, but that's a chance that you take when you do auctions. All right, next item is this Prana Burnout top. I pick these up whenever I can. This item sold at my full asking price of $19, free shipping, which is kind of one of the, I think it's one of the higher price points that I've gotten for these burnouts because I pick those up pretty frequently. Very happy with that price on that. Got that at the bins. Here's another item I got at the bins, Nike Dry Fit. It's the running line, a men's white. It's like perfect condition, long sleeved running shirt. Took a best offer of $15 free shipping for that one. Nike is plentiful where I live, especially in the bins. I am thankful for that. Okay, so I picked this up a while ago, and I actually put this on Poshmark, but it ended up selling on eBay. Blue and gray. It's an Ann Taylor brand, and it's this poncho top is what it's called. Sold this, took a best offer for $11.50, free shipping, and it had been on my store for quite a long time, so I was happy to move that on out. Here's a couple more auctioned t-shirts that I sold. Nothing major on these. I actually picked this up for 99 cents and didn't realize it, but it had a hole in it, like in the back of the collar. So that's actually why I auctioned this. It's an Obey t-shirt. I think I showed this in a haul video before. Obey. Sold it for $4 starting bid plus shipping, so a total of $7.38. Nothing big and exciting, but I made my money back on that item. I almost put it back in my donate pile, but I'm glad that I put it back up. I put it up on auction. I love this. Got this at the bins. It's a vintage Garfield shirt. Has quite a few stains on it, and I did disclose it in the listing. Sold this for $9.50 on auction with free shipping. This was another item that I had thought that I was charging shipping on. So hopefully I have all of that stuff ironed out so there's no confusion. It all evens out by the time all is said and done. Don't think that I'm just losing a bunch of money over here. I would not be in business if I was just losing a bunch of money, but there are some items you lose money on, and it just happens. It's cost of doing business. I make plenty of profit on the other items that I am selling, so I'm okay with that. All right, so here is a Mountain Hardwear women's sweater. It's an extra large, and I got it for $2 at Value Village, and so sold this for $16, free shipping. Picked these up at the bins, and I actually bought them for myself, and I didn't like the way they fit, and when that happens, I really don't mind selling them for a lower dollar amount. So they're in Nike, and they're just like a women's athletic pant, and I took a $10 best offer on those. This I picked up thinking that it could be one of those more exciting Nike t-shirts, but it wasn't. It sat in my store for quite a while. Got it for $1. Nike again. It's a Darvish t-shirt. Took a best offer of $10. Free shipping. This was a brand, I've never heard of it, and I didn't find that many comps, but if I see it again, I'll pick it up because I'm really happy with how it sold. So it's a brand called Comille. And it's this cardigan, this like textured gray long cardigan. And I took a best offer of $22, and this sold to an international buyer for a total of $40. So obviously somebody wants that brand enough to pay $40 for it. I picked this next item up in Seattle, and I was very excited to find my first Holding Horses piece. I'll go ahead and show you what that tag looks like. And I think I paid $6, and I took a best offer this morning of $25 on this, and it has like this ombre fade to it. So yeah, took a $25 best offer just to get some movement going. Picked this top up at the bins. It's this eShakti brand, which has been actually a pretty good seller for me. This is a super unique piece. It's got hot air balloons on it. It's like a sleeveless tunic with this like seam right down the front. It's a 1X though, so it's a plus size, and I sold it for $20.69 free shipping this morning. So I sold these two pieces to the same buyer. Horny Toad is one of them. Sorry, that didn't come in clear. Let's try that again. Oh, come on. Okay, well, it's not gonna focus today. So anyway, it's a Horny Toad hoodie, and then a Horny Toad tank top. Let's see if I can get this Horny Toad label to focus. Kinda, sorta. Anyway, so I sold these together for a total of $44.83. Not bad. I'm really happy with this. Man, this is what it's like to not have a sale running on my stuff. I don't know though. I mean, I feel like my sales in general weren't any lower. I sold less items and made more money. That's something to think about. So less work, more money. But would I have rather sold more items? I don't know. I don't know. Let's see what I can do this week as far as my sales are concerned. But that definitely, it has me thinking if I've just for the last year have just always had a sale running. And this weekend I just said, you know what, I'm not going to have a sale running and I'm going to accept best offers and we'll just see what happens. And I don't know. I got to think about that a little bit. Maybe I don't need to have a sale running all the time. A one-piece J. Crew swimsuit, solid. Sold it for $15. Got it at the bins. Swimsuits are really selling right now. January, February are good times to sell swimsuits. Picked up these plaid men's golf shorts. They're just the PGA Tour brand. Let's see if I can get that. There we go. PGA Tour, but they're nice. I don't really think that they've been worn at all. Picked these up at the bin, sold them for $21.84. Sold this Harley Davidson shirt. Had this on my shelf for a little bit. It's this black button front shirt with the velvet pattern on the back. And I took a $27.50 best offer on this item. A little bit less than I wanted to sell it for. I've sold those for upwards of $50 before, but like I said before, Harley's just not selling quite as well as it used to. So I'm just happy to sell it. And again, I got it at the bins, so still a great return on investment. Here is an Athleta dress that I picked up at the bins. Athleta is one of my favorite bread and butter brands. And I took a $25 best offer on this dress. And it's a cute little summer dress, like a cotton patterned summer dress. And I've told you all how much I love Chico's size 3. Doesn't matter what it is. It's like a sheer vest. Oh, it's like folded into itself. A sheer vest with some lace trim. Great condition. Took a $25 best offer on this one. And lastly, so yeah, did I tell you guys how many I had? So 24, this is my 24th item, well actually 25th because I showed you a Poshmark sale. So not like the 40 items, we're not in the 30s and 40s like I've been the last few weekends, but my sales dollars have been about the same. That's definitely something to be considering right now. Still gonna put a sale on my store tomorrow. So last item here is this Ann Taylor Loft. And it's this eyelet dress. Just a blue knee length shift dress. Sold this for $14 on best offer. Okay guys, so that is my sale. That's what I sold for this weekend. So all in all, a pretty light shipping day. But hey, I'm pretty happy with it. So, okay, so I went to the Goodwill. My kids woke up at 5:30 this morning on a Sunday. You guys know I'm an early riser, so that's not that early for me, but I usually have a few hours to myself before my kids even wake up. But I was still sleeping at 5:30. But they were up at 5:30, and so I was like, heck, if we're up at 5:30, we're going to church at the early service. So we actually we normally go to church at 9:30, and this morning we went to church at 8 o'clock. That'll teach them to wake up that early on a Sunday morning. So we went to 8 o'clock service, so we were finished with church by 9:30, and the Goodwill opened at 10. So we went ahead as a family. We hadn't done some retail Goodwilling in a while, so I took my husband and my boys and we did about an hour and 20 minutes at a retail Goodwill store, one of my favorite ones near my house. So we got there right at opening, and Sundays are the days in my area where they switch over the color tags. So every week they have a color tag of the week that's 50% off. This week as of this morning, switched it to purple. So we got first dibs on purple tags. So it was a good run. I spent $70. So still trying to figure out kind of that sweet spot between where my time is better spent, right? Like my time is better spent at the bins. My return on investment is definitely higher. We just finished up our taxes and my husband confirmed in the years previous that I've only gone to the Goodwill outlets to source, compared to this last year where I started shopping more at retail stores and paying higher prices for my items, I actually made a higher overall return on investment by only shopping at the Goodwill outlets. That said, there's still value in going to the retail stores, especially when I know that I have a high percentage of 50% off tags that I can score. So no regrets about going today. I'm just not going to be going to the retail stores as often, which I haven't. I mean, honestly, I haven't been, but I like to shop retail stores sometimes, especially when I'm with my kids, because my kids like going to the Goodwill stores. They have a shorter attention span, and I would not take them to the Goodwill outlets for like a 3-hour digging through the bins experience. So this was good for everybody. Okay, so I got this Sundance. I've recently learned about this brand from States Place, and it was so regularly $6.99, and I scored it for $3.50. It has some pilling on it, but I think that I can get it pretty well cleaned up, and it's like a sweater coat. So cool floral sweater coat, snap button front. I think that I can get probably about $30 for this. Sorry, I'm gonna go ahead and minimize this other window on my computer. There. Okay, so there's that. So I have personally been looking for one of these. I fell in love with the Lauren Conrad Disney line that they brought out at Kohl's a year ago. And because I've been personally on the lookout for some of their pieces in my size, I know that this is a high demand line on eBay. So it's this Disney Lauren Conrad collection. Anything with this is a pretty good find. I mean, you'll want to look up comps, completed listings on eBay for the piece that you're specifically looking at, but there is a high demand for this particular line. So I love this. It's Bambi, and it's just like a thin knit gray sweater, and I paid $5 for this because they're selling for about $25 to $35, and I just really love it. So not huge dollars. Probably didn't need to spend that much on it, but I know that it will sell, and there's a lot of them available with flower, the skunk on them, but not a lot with Bambi. So I'm hoping for a good return on that. This is a brand I've said it before, I will pay up on all the time. So Soft Surroundings does very, very well for me. This is a petite large, and it's a very in-style cowl neck swing hem top. So I paid $7 for this. It was not half off. It would have been if I would have waited a week. But I love this brand, and it sells quick and for good money for me. I've been loving this brand lately. Theory. This sells for higher dollars than I ever thought it would. I think I used to actually just pass up on this brand. So it's like a dress, like a overalls dress. I didn't even look up completed listings on this style, because for $5, I'm okay taking that chance. I've been selling Theory pieces for over $30. Picked this up for my husband, but I'll go ahead and show it anyway. He wants this. So half price. They're still marking up North Face at the Goodwill. They haven't realized that it's depreciated a little bit. But it's a North Face quarter zip. Again, my husband picked that out, so $7 for himself. He's pretty happy. Grabbed this James Purse dress. This is a great, consistent selling brand, and it's just a plain gray dress. And I sold it for, I haven't sold it yet. I bought it for $4.99. Where's all my half price stuff, guys? Okay, I actually haven't pulled the comps on this. My husband did, and he showed me. I feel like I still need, I'm a little bit in disbelief. Like it's too good to be true. So I'm going to have to spend a little bit of time researching, but here is a new brand. And you all know that I love new brands. It is called Belstaff. Maybe you guys know about this brand, but this is a new one for us. Okay, let's see if I can show you. Belstaff. See that? Here's the jacket. It's like kind of like a shiny satin military jacket. And then there's the logo. So we couldn't find a jacket just like this, but a lot of the Belstaff jackets were selling anywhere from $100 to $300 on eBay. Again, this was my husband's research, and he just showed me his phone real quick, and all I could see was green, green, green in the hundreds. So I said, sure, we can pay $12.99 for a jacket that may pull in $300. So again, I've got more research to do on this, but I'm super excited to have found a new brand. So I will keep you guys in the loop on that one. Love new brands. Zenergy by Chico's, size 3. I love this stuff. Got it half price, so $3.50. And it's just a zippered track jacket, and it has some floral detail on the sleeves and the hem. So I'll probably sell this for about $25, $30. Found these pretty much right off the bat when I walked in. Lululemon shorts. I knew exactly what they were when I saw them. I've sold these shorts lots and lots and lots of times. Not any recently, but there's that Lululemon logo, and I paid $5. So I don't even know. Sorry, there you go. I don't even know what the going rate is on these right now, but I'm not going to pass up a pair of Lululemon shorts for that cheap. So here's another new brand for me. And the comps were confusing. It's one of those layer dresses, so it's a little bit falling, like the inside lining has kind of fallen out of itself. Anyway, it's a crochet dress, but it's lined. And it's new with tags. And it's this House of Harlow 1960. There's the tag. So lots of new brands for me today. You see that? So comps, some things were just not selling at all, and some things were selling for like $50, $60, $70 when they were new with tags. So I decided that $7 was worth a shot on this. It's a new with tags crochet dress. Regardless, I can sell it for $20. So even if I don't get that higher price point on this, this is the kind of thing that I don't mind taking a little bit of a risk on, because I know I'll at least make my money back if it doesn't sell for what I hope it's going to sell for. You can't go wrong. It's new with tags. There's no flaws. So you should check out comps of that House of Harlow 1960, and you tell me what you think. Because I've never seen it before, but it looks exciting. So we'll see what happens with it. And then, okay, so then my last two items, and my husband found these. And I cannot believe these were half off. I know I keep going blurry on my camera on the screen, you guys. I'm sorry. It's just going to be how it is. I'm realizing like I can complain about it and I can mention it, but I have literally no control. Maybe someday I won't be cheap and I'll get a new webcam. Maybe. We got two icebreaker quarter zip sweaters in perfect condition for $4. Two of them. They have been in the store. This is funny. So we were trying to figure this out. They have been in the store since February 10th. My husband and I were there shopping. The last time we were at this store shopping was February 11th. So I would have paid $8 a piece for these if I had seen them when we were there. And I know he looked through the men's sweaters when we were there, but I think it's crazy they've been there for that long and nobody bought them, because two of them. There's the other one. Quarter zip icebreaker sweater. These babies are at least $35 a pop. I'll probably put them at 45. Maybe 50 if I'm feeling really lucky. I don't know. So super happy about that. 2 icebreaker sweaters for $80. So $70 spent on all that stuff, and there's some really good potential there. So I'm happy with that. I'm very excited to go to the bins tomorrow. And I'll probably go later this week as well. I've got lots of listing to do and probably taking some pictures too. My sister helps me a lot with my photography, and she wasn't feeling very well last week. So, or at least Friday and Wednesday, I didn't have her come because I wasn't feeling very well. So I might have to do a little bit of photography tomorrow too, and I haven't done that in a while. So maybe I'll enjoy it this time since it's been such a long time since I've done it. So anyways, you guys, thanks so much for tuning in to my sales / small haul video for this Sunday evening. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Please leave any comments or questions in the comments or questions section, and subscribe if you have not already to get notifications of my upcoming videos. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. Have a wonderful evening. Happy sales, happy sourcing, happy listing. We'll see you guys later. Bye.